this is Arunava Chaudhuri and you are on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. Today I want to talk about East Bengal club, but would have to make the differentiation between the women's and the men's team. On one side, we have the women's team, which recently won the IWL title under Anthony Andrews. Congratulations from my side on doing that. And on the other side, we saw the dismal performance of the men's team as defending champions in the Super Cup opener against the Kerala Blasters, only losing 2-0 to the Blasters. It could have been 3-4 or even 5-0 for the team from Kerala. And this actually shows and sums up to me the differences between how you can be successful and how you're built for failure. On one side, we have the women's team, which shows you that proper planning, bringing in investors, investing into the right players, the right coach, you can win something. I know in the men's game it is much more complex, it is much more complicated, but still the way East Bengal has been running over the last 5 years in the Indian Super League with different corporate partners is just not good enough. And we saw it culminate really in that opening game of the Super Cup where they were outplayed by the Kerala Blasters. The red and gold was just not good enough. A lot of criticism, especially for the foreign players. And yes, the success of teams in Indian football is built on the success of getting the right foreigners and getting the right mix. What is clearly visible at East Bengal FC is on paper at the start of the season, and I said that the first 11 on paper looks a decent squad. But nobody seems to have done the homework in regard to do these players, can they become a team? Can they gel together? That is a complete disaster. It seems like the whole dressing room is in a mess. The little bit that Stephen Considine had built, when I thought Carlos Godrath had built a little bit more, but he was fired early on the season. Oscar Bruzon came in, initial success in the AFC Challenge League. Good start into the ISL, but since then, it's been going downhill. And Oscar most probably will have to question himself also. What has he done right? What has he done wrong? Are his methods working with this squad or not? And if I see they've had now a few weeks to prepare for the Super Cup, it wasn't good enough. And what I didn't like from Oscar's side also was that he threw his team under the bus at the press conference post-match. Yes, we don't need to discuss Diamantakos' disappointment, especially against his former team, the Kerala Blasters. A lot was expected from him, but I've seen him most of the season arguing, discussing with referees, with teammates, with opponents. This isn't the Diamantakos that actually used to play here in Germany many, many years back. Messi Boli has had his moments, but also wasn't good enough. Richard Sellis, I saw him. I know a lot of people were excited to see him play. Yeah, most probably a great player at five-a-side football. Could be fun to see his tricks, his dribbles, but is not really the player that you need. Saul Crespo isn't fit enough, has had too many injuries, and as a captain you need to be fit in his position to be able to control, marshal the midfield. And Hector Yuste, I've liked Hector Yuste, but again, he's getting old, he's getting slower, and depends on the players around him. And about the Indians, I know some of the players really were trying to praise the Indians. I say, guys, sorry, we can't take anybody out of this. Prabhsukhan Gill, to start with. Yes, there are always some great saves, but then you think about it, what is he trying to do in defense? Especially Anwar Ali, brought in with a lot of fanfare, taken away from Mohun Bagan, super giant, but a real shut of himself. Lalchuk Nunga, uncontrollable. I don't even know how many red cards he's received this season. The others, Mohamed Rakib, most probably one of the most consistent towards the end of the season. Jackson Singh, also brought in for a lot of money from the Kerala Blasters. Not good enough at this moment. Shovik has had his on, his offs. When it comes to the wingers, Mahesh has had his on, his offs. The same about Vishnu, Nanda, and the list goes on. David has had his cameos. Yeah. The question is now for East Bengal regarding the men's team. What do you do? You've got certain players on 2-year contracts, but actually looking at the performances, some of them you have to try to sell. And then, do you keep Oscar Bruce on, or do you bring in a new coach? That's another question. And then there are questions regarding the management. Thangboy Singh has been brought in. Can Thangboy change something? Can he work together with the legacy officials? Can he work together with Omoy? Not easy. A very, very complex situation. But there are clear-cut decisions which need to be taken. And ideally, if Imami is really serious, they need to bring in someone who is like a CEO who tries to sort out this mess. Because the women's team has shown it doesn't need much to be successful. And on the other side, the fans deserve better. But the fans also now, and I've said this also the last 2-3 years, need to raise their voice. And need to raise their voice on the right issues. Don't blame the referees and others. Look inwards, look at the club, and get the changes made so that East Bengal FC can be successful in the next season. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? Do you have some points to add? As always, write them down in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias. Visit arunfoot.com. And I'll be back very soon. Arunava Chaudhuri signing off. Bye for now.